Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Baltimore RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been keeping an eye on the NFL landscape, especially on the AFC North, you've probably heard some whispers, some rumors flying around, and they're not just any rumors. These are coming straight from Adam Schefter himself, one of the most trusted sources in the league, indicating that the Seattle Seahawks might be making a bold move, a trade that could shake up the entire division. And what's the big deal about this? Well, it involves none other than Devon Witherspoon, one of the most promising young cornerbacks in the league today. Yes, that's right. The Seahawks are reportedly planning to trade Witherspoon, a top-tier ascending star, in exchange for picks in the 2025 and 2026 drafts, specifically second-round picks in 2025 and third-round picks in 2026. Now, this isn't just about draft capital. It's about the strategic shift the Seahawks hope to make in their roster, especially considering their current cap situation and their team needs. Seattle has around $21 million in cap space, and with their record sitting at 5-2, they're in a position where they want to rebuild more effectively, to hone their roster around specific core players. And one of those priorities, it seems, is the offensive line, especially with Geno Smith leading the charge and the need to protect him better, especially as they gear up for the playoff push. But why would they part ways with Witherspoon, a player who's only been in the league since 2023 but has already made a huge impact? Well, the reason is multifaceted. For starters, Witherspoon is a versatile, highly talented cornerback who was a first-round pick and is already showing signs of becoming a Pro Bowler. In his rookie year, he accumulated 8 interceptions, 32 pass defenses, and over 200 tackles with a PFF grade of 82.5, putting him comfortably in the top 15 among NFL cornerbacks. His ability to cover both man and zone, his speed, running a blazing 4.28 40-yard dash, and his knack for creating turnovers make him an invaluable asset. Plus, he's still just 24 years old, meaning he's entering his prime, and the Seahawks are clearly weighing whether they want to extend him long-term, especially considering their existing cap constraints and the presence of DK Metcalf, whose extension is also a factor. In 2025, Witherspoon has shown even more promise, with 12 solo tackles, though no interceptions yet this season, but he's been effective in coverage, allowing a 68.2% success rate and boasting a pass defense grade of 75.0. His coverage stats, especially his ability to limit yards after catch, allowing only 4.2 yards per reception, are comparable to some of the league's best, like Sauce Gardner. The Seahawks' secondary, despite flashes of brilliance, has been inconsistent, and their pass defense has leaked points, allowing an average of 22 points per game, which is a concern given the league's offensive firepower. Seattle's secondary has been exposed at times, especially when they lose coverage consistency, and that's where Witherspoon's potential trade value makes sense. They see an opportunity to recoup draft assets and perhaps hone their focus elsewhere, especially on their offensive line or other positions where they need immediate upgrades. Now, let's shift gears and look at what this means for the Baltimore Ravens. As we all know, Baltimore's defense has been a story of ups and downs this season. They're currently sitting at 2-5, and their secondary has been under significant pressure. Allowing over 30 points per game is not what you expect from a team with playoff aspirations. Their pass defense, in particular, has struggled to contain top receivers, and the lack of a consistent lockdown corner has been a glaring weakness. Enter Devon Witherspoon. If this trade were to happen, if the Ravens managed to acquire him, it would be a game-changer. Witherspoon's ability to contain aerial attacks would provide a much-needed boost to their secondary, especially during the absence of Marcus Peters, who's been dealing with injuries this season. Witherspoon's versatility is one of his strongest assets. He's able to play effectively in man coverage, with about 80% success rate, and is capable of limiting yards after catch, allowing just 4.2 yards per reception. His speed, combined with his football IQ, allows him to read routes quickly and stay with receivers, making him a nightmare for quarterbacks. His recent performances, despite missing some games due to a knee injury, show he's still at his peak, running a 4.28 40-yard dash and maintaining a high level of play when on the field. It's clear that his physical tools are elite, and his ability to adapt and succeed in different coverage schemes makes him a perfect fit for the Ravens' defensive philosophy. From a statistical perspective, Witherspoon's impact is undeniable. His rookie season saw him snag 8 interceptions and force 32 pass defenses, and he's been a key part of the Seahawks' secondary, especially during their 5-2 start. His PFF grade of 82, 5 in 2023 places him among the league's top cornerbacks, and his EPA per target reflects his effectiveness in limiting the success of opposing offenses. Even this season, his coverage success rate of 68, 2% and run defense grade of 71. 5 show he's not just a pass defender, but also willing to step up against the run. His ability to contribute in multiple facets of the game makes him a valuable addition to any team seeking to bolster their defensive backfield. Now, let's explore the strategic implications of such a trade for the Ravens. Adding Witherspoon would not only strengthen their pass defense, but also add a young, dynamic player who could develop into a cornerstone of their secondary for years to come. His presence would allow them to deploy more complex coverages, giving their defensive coordinator, Mike Macdonald, more flexibility in defending high-powered offenses. Plus, with Humphrey already established as a shutdown corner and Witherspoon's emerging star power, Baltimore's secondary would become much more formidable. This would, in turn, help them reduce the number of points allowed per game, which is crucial for a team that's been fighting uphill all season. Another aspect to consider is how Witherspoon's addition could influence the Ravens' playoff chances. Currently, their odds of winning the Super Bowl are estimated to be around plus 10-0, an indication that they're underdogs but still very much in the hunt. With the addition of a player like Witherspoon, who has the potential to be a playoff X-factor, those odds could improve significantly. His ability to shadow top receivers, especially in critical moments, could turn the tide in close games, giving Baltimore a crucial advantage. Against teams like the Bengals, who rely heavily on man coverage, Witherspoon's skills could be the difference maker, allowing Baltimore to clamp down on their top weapons and force turnovers at key moments. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. This potential trade underscores the Ravens' ongoing strategy of building a versatile, tough, and adaptable defense. Historically, Baltimore has been known for their hard-hitting, physical style of play. Think of the legacy left by players like Ed Reed, who set the standard for safety play, and other defensive legends. Witherspoon, in many ways, mirrors that kind of versatility and instinct. His ability to read routes, make plays on the ball, and contribute against the run makes him a modern-day version of that elite Ravens defense. This trade, if it materializes, would symbolize their commitment to reestablishing a dominant secondary, one that can carry them deep into the postseason and beyond. As we look ahead, the deadline on November 4th looms large. The Seahawks are under pressure to make these decisions, balancing their cap space, roster needs, and draft capital. They could opt to hold onto Witherspoon, especially given his youth and potential, or they could go all in on this rebuild, shipping him out for future assets. For the Ravens, the opportunity to acquire a player of Witherspoon's caliber would be a statement move, signaling their intent to contend seriously this year and in the coming seasons. It could also act as a catalyst for their entire defense to elevate their game, especially in the postseason, where defensive consistency and playmaking are often the keys to victory. So, what can we expect moving forward? Well, all signs point to this being one of the most intriguing storylines leading up to the trade deadline. The Ravens, always aggressive in their pursuit of top talent, might see this as a chance to add a young star who can immediately impact their secondary, and more broadly, their entire defensive identity. Witherspoon's proven track record, combined with his age and upside, makes him an ideal target for Baltimore. If the trade happens, it could serve as a turning point, not just for their season but for their future outlook, building a secondary that can lock down even the most explosive offenses in the league. Now, wrapping this all up, it's important to remember that football is a game of moments, of strategic moves, and of players stepping up in critical situations. The potential trade of Witherspoon is more than just a roster change. It's a statement of intent from the Ravens. They're aiming to reinforce their defense, to create a lockdown unit that can carry them through the playoffs and give them the best shot at returning to the Super Bowl. It's a move that could redefine their defensive identity, elevate their game, and maybe, just maybe, push them over the top this season. The AFC North has always been one of the most competitive divisions in football, filled with tough teams, talented players, and high stakes. But if this trade comes to fruition, it could tip the scales in Baltimore's favor and set the stage for a memorable postseason run. And now, Baltimore Ravens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you believe acquiring Witherspoon could be the spark that finally pushes Baltimore back into serious Super Bowl contention? Or do you think the Seahawks should hold on to him and focus on their long-term rebuild? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion really matters, not just to us but to the entire Ravens community. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and the latest news straight from the NFL. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep supporting our team through thick and thin. Because in Baltimore, we never give up and we always believe in the next big comeback.